Hey everybody, this is Dr. Dain here to talk to you about what the Bleep is energy installment number like 288 or something. I'm not sure. Hopefully you've seen some of the other videos. Hopefully you have an idea what this is that we're talking about. And what happens with energy is it really is within every molecule. It is everything that we perceive. It's every way that we feel. It's involved in every emotion. It's involved in every sense of space, every sense of possibility. And so let's talk today about your vibe. Now, I don't usually talk about your vibration because it's such a metaphysical concept, and people, you talk about that and people just kind of want to vomit on you, and I'm not really interested in having that kind of a conversation. But what I would like you to start looking at is like, what vibe am I choosing? Like, am I vibrating like somebody who's successful? Am I vibrating like somebody who's happy? Is that the vibe I'm putting off? Is that the vibe I'm choosing for myself? Or am I vibrating like a little pile of poo in the corner? Am I doing my poo emoji vibe today? You want to start looking at this because it's the vibe that you choose that invites the reality you create. So, one of the things that's been going on for me for the last, several weeks, which has not happened for me ever, is my body's been having an interesting time with, let's just call it sickness of an intestinal nature. And for me, I've never had that before, and it's been going on for a while. Normally it can change anything in a heartbeat, right? And so it's created this place where one of the things I noticed the other day was like the joy that I normally am, it's like really up and down. Now, before access, this is one of the other things that's made me aware of is before access, it was usually down. There was so little awareness of the joy. And I got my bars run and it changed my life. And then I started doing these ESB sessions and then facilitating ESB classes. And what started happening was I started having more and more and more joy. And yet, you know what? I never really fully acknowledged it. I never really fully acknowledged how joyful I was. I wonder if maybe you might be doing a little bit of that. So everything you're doing to not acknowledge how joyful you actually are, well, you destroy it and create it, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So what happens is what you acknowledge can grow. What you don't acknowledge withers and dies, especially if it's a capacity like joy. Okay, so over the last few weeks, having the joy leave and then come back and leave and then come back, and I gotta say, every time it left, it was based on my choice, and every time it came back, it was based on my choice. But for me, I started noticing that as my body was doing this weird stuff and I was really uncomfortable, which is not a place I live with my body, I started letting the joy go too. And so one morning I woke up and I was actually facilitating a class in Sydney, Australia, and I was like, wow, you know what? I am done being pathetic, okay? Body, you can be as sick as you need to or whatever it is you got going on, because my sense is my body's actually changing something major, really big. And if you've been having stuff like that in your body, maybe your body's changing something major too. But what I said to my body is, body, do whatever you need to change. I'm here with you. Let's make it as easy as possible. But I made the demand in my world, I am not going to be pathetic anymore. I'm not going to live like the poo emoji anymore. Why? Because it sucks. Having that vibe, choosing that, sucks. And we can all acknowledge that it sucks. It fucking sucks. Especially for somebody who knows they're happy. Well, what I got out of this was the acknowledgement of, I had never really truly acknowledged how happy I had become and how different that is. So, this vibration of joy thing that I'm talking about, think about 3 or 4 people when you're around them, you actually get more joyful, not less. And it just is. It's not even something they do. It's like something they be that gives you permission to be something and unlocks something in you that is an acknowledgement of your being. Well, they're acknowledging you and the energy that you be. And sometimes they're being an energy that's more like you than you're willing to acknowledge, but being around them gives you permission to be it. So one of the things that was happening for me when I was doing cranky bands is some of the people in my life are actually happy and joyful, and they would be around and I would start getting more joyful. I started looking at this, I'm like, isn't this interesting? See, this space, excuse me, this space that we can choose. By the way, there's a beautiful volcano over there. I just like looking, it's just so pretty. I don't know. It's one of the things that brings me joy. But there's a space that we can choose of this joy where everything around us starts to change. So let me just put it like this, okay? Remember I talked about the poo emoji. Well, imagine a poo emoji made of stone, there's not much going on. There's not much swirling of energy. There's not much movement in that, right? And if you ever notice when you're joyful, there's like this movement, meaning things are not solid anymore. They don't just stick in place anymore. They have a movement to them. You become like a superhero in one of those movies, you know? Because whatever comes at a superhero, because they're like a superhero, right? So they're not like, oh my God, somebody's judging me. Oh my God, no. They don't like Superman. Oh no. Oh, Wonder Woman, I'm too hot for you. Totally get it. Oh my God. Oh no. They don't do that. They're like, no matter what comes at them, they're like, I'm a fucking superhero. Bring it on, bitches. What if you were more like that in your life? And you notice that energy of joy that I'm being? I know, for some people it's annoying as fuck, and I totally get it. And if you're annoyed right now, this so applies to you, I can't even begin to tell you. You've been hiding this, you've been shoving it down like, you know, with the poo thing in the probably I should get over the poo thing right now. I'm like 6 years old, but I'm a happy 6. Okay, good. So I have that joy thing going on, right? But what happens is a superhero has this movement of energy. And so anything that comes at them gets involved in that movement and can't maintain its same solidity. That's the way you are when you embrace the joy of you, okay? And that's the way you are when you choose the joy of you. And here's the thing nobody on the planet is willing to acknowledge. Okay, almost nobody on the planet. That would have been improper English. Almost nobody on the planet is willing to acknowledge that your joy is your choice. And when you be it, you be a movement of energy that allows things to come toward you. And even if they're really solid, even if they're like really intense and really yucky, if you stay being that movement of energy, they can't maintain their solidity, at least not in your world. Now they may in other people's worlds, and other people will look at you and they'll judge you for being too happy, or they'll judge you because you don't get how significant this is and what a problem this is, and you're not making this a big enough problem, young lady, and why are you not, and I can't believe it. I don't know why I sound like Richard Nixon right now, but you get the idea. Okay, I am not an unhappy crook. Anyway, I've never done that before. It's like my first time. You guys are inspiring me. Thank you so much. Okay, but do you notice how... I don't know what goes on in here. We call it Dain's brain. In all of Access, we call it Dain's brain. It just happens. So this thing about being that is you are this movement where none of the solidity and the yuckiness can stick to you. None of it can solidify you. None of it can slow you down. So will you choose it now, please? And everything that doesn't allow it, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, choice, boys, beyonds. And what definitions do you have of the necessity of sadness and suffering and trauma and drama that keep you from being the joy you know you are? Everything that is, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. One more time, what definitions of the necessity of sadness, suffering, trauma, and drama do you have that keep you from being the joy you know you truly are? Everything that is, right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And my suggestion to you, my request of you, my gift to you as a tool and a possibility, every morning when you wake up, start swirling the energy. Start swirling the energy. This is one of the things you become acquainted with in the ESB class, is start swirling the energy. And even if you don't know what I'm talking about right now, guess what? I'm being the energy that is that swirling of the energy. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Do you feel your body kind of start to go, whoa, I think I get what he's talking about. If you don't worry about it. That is totally okay. It's part of what the ESB class is about opening, is your energetic capacities, your energetic platform for your very being to exist, where all of these energies, including this swirling energy that makes it so nothing can solidify in your world, can actually be your living, breathing reality. So when you wake up in the morning, start swirling the energy, and then ask, what energy, space, and consciousness can I be to be the most joyful person in my life and on this planet today with total ease? Everything that doesn't allow it, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And whether you know it or not, your joy is a gift to this world, my beautiful friends. Your joy gives possibilities to us all. Your joy makes it so that the solidity of reality cannot maintain itself, which is why people keep trying to stop you from being it, because if you be that joy, they cannot limit you and stop you, and you don't validate the reality of sadness and trauma and drama anymore, and you become a source for possibilities. And when you do, the friggin' world gets changed and far greater than it was before. So, thank you very much for listening. Thank you for putting up with Dain's brain for this particular video. What if you truly being you are the gift, the change, and the possibility this world requires? You are, and I cannot wait to see you in person someday. Bye.